Hello everyone, and this is part 2 of What If Deku Was Betrayed, and instead of going where I left off, I'm gonna go off into a middle of a fight. So, as All Might goes and jumps to do a Detroit smash, a villain stabs him with a metal spike. It severely injures All Might as he falls to the floor as all the 1A students say All Might in fear that he might have just lost his life. Deku feels a presence of someone's life fading. He realizes it's All Might, but instead of actually ignoring it and turning his back away, Deku jumps into the air and starts flying through the air, flying towards the facility of where the fight is taking place. Deku is starting to fly as fast as he can until he makes it to the place known as Island. He sees the big fight going on as All Might is bleeding out on the floor. Deku realizes it's time and puts his mask on as he jumps down into the fray. Deku puts his hand on All Might's stomach as it instantly heals. Deku says, "Wow. This looks like everything went to shit. Well, it's my time to clean it up." Deku looks the person right into the eyes. All the metal that he's casted flies and disappears into a different area. Deku starts to fly towards the man as he punches him in the face, beating him up until there's no metal around him and nothing around him either. The man starts to fly back to the floor, but the guy says no and starts to put the cloth around him, as Deku breaks the cloth just by looking at it and punches the guy to the floor. As the guy is knocked out, and he has saved the professor, Deku says, "Well, Class 1A, it was nice seeing you, but I must leave." So, as Deku disappeared, everybody in Class 1A was confused. Like, Deku knew them somehow, or the person knew them somehow. Todoroki recognizing the rest of the costume, but not the mask. He recognizes the costume from the fight with Stain on Deku. He tries to put those two comparisons together, but the voice is just throwing him off. Is it really Deku? As Todoroki is thinking that, he snapped back into reality as All Might gets back up. He touches his side as that injury is gone. He realizes, what is this? Who healed me? And All Might asks the question, who healed him? It's like this weird guy, and everybody in 1A says it was this weird guy who jumped into the fight and took him out in merely only 30 seconds. The guy is even stronger than you, All Might. All Might is shocked to hear this, as he thinks, who could this be? Is it All For One playing tricks on me? But if it was All For One, he would have killed me. What is this? As All Might is thinking this, they leave Island, and every event plays out as normal. Besides, instead of Deku being in the fight with All Might and Bakugo and Deku versus All Might, it's Shinso and Bakugo, because Shinso has been moved to Class 1A in place of Deku. People are wondering where Deku has went and disappeared to. Bakugo has chalked it off as the useless nerd just quit of being a hero. He just finally took his advice. But Uraraka, Ida, and Todoroki has wondered, where has Deku went off to? Ida does recall the day that Deku saved him, and Todoroki recalls the day that Todoroki helped Deku fight Stain, but he does not know where Deku is. I'm going to say that Bakugo and Shinso passed due to the fact that Shinso used his quirk on All Might and used it to escape as he told him to stay still. I'm going to say that. Deku has been getting tabs on the League of Villains, knowing that they are going to attack the forest training camp. Deku says it's time to go a little bit undercover. So, Deku, the next day of school where they're talking about the results, Deku knocks on the door of Class 1A. The door opens as Aizawa is shocked to see that Deku is right there, smiling. He's like, I'm sorry I've been gone for very long. I was off training somewhere else. Of course, that was being a lie. But since Deku can use his quirk to use any quirk he possibly wants to, he can make a copy of One for All. But he can't make a copy of the mastered version because he doesn't know what the mastered version looks like. So he makes it look like All Might's version, where there's no electricity around him, but how All Might moves. And Deku starts to make up a lie that telling him he's been training his quirk. And Aizawa says, well, since you did miss the final exams, you have to retake them. So you're going to have to fight one of the Class 1A students by yourself. Deku says that's alright. And he's like, who am I gonna have to fight? He's like, we're gonna have to fight. How about you fight Ida after the class is done? Aizawa asks Ida if that's alright with him, and Ida agrees. Ida thinks it's strange that Deku has just walked in the class, and so is Todoroki thinking that. Off training somewhere, then how did he have the chance or time to get to them? Ida and Todoroki think it's very suspicious, but they decide to ignore it for now. After class, and after Aizawa stops talking about the results of the final exams, Deku and Ida get ready to face off as the whole class starts to watch. Ida starts to run right at Deku, but Deku slows down his perception of time and dodges Ida's attack very quickly, chopping Ida right on the neck, knocking him out. And to most people, it looks like Deku didn't even use a quirk. Well, to most. All Might, who was watching from the sidelines, thinks, what is going on here? And All Might and All Might goes to Night Eye, asking Night Eye, did you see Deku go to Class 1A in your little vision thing? And Night Eye says, no, I did not. I saw him. And Night Eye explains exactly what he saw. I can't ruin that for you. And All Might also figures out about the forest training camp getting attacked. Instead of stopping that whole ordeal, All Might decides he's gonna go with them. And yeah, but someone is watching that whole conversation go down. As the person says, Shigaraki, All Might's planning on going to the forest training camp. And that's where I'm going to leave it off, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, like, subscribe, and comment down below how you felt. Peace out, and goodbye, everyone. See y'all later. Peace.